Consider this. Some McDonald's are promising lunch in 90 seconds or it's free. The average doctor visit now lasts 8 minutes. An over-the-counter drug is marketed for women who don't have time for a yeast infection. Politicians currently take a mere 8.2 seconds to answer a question, regardless of the complexity of the topic. A popular all-you-can-eat buffet in Tokyo charges by the minute. The faster you eat, the cheaper it is. The head of Hitachi's portable computer division motivates his workers with the slogan, "Speed is God and time is the devil." Developers of high-rises have discovered an upward limit to the number of floors, the amount of time people are willing to wait for elevators. 15 seconds is what feels best. If it stretches to 40, we freak out. All of us these days, it seems, spend our lives rushing around. We're in constant motion, and we expect everything and everyone around us to go faster, as well as technology watcher David Schenk notes. Between our smartphones and our speed dials, email and FedEx, quickness has disappeared from our culture. We now only experience degrees of slowness. Writer James Glick says it more bluntly. We're all suffering from hurry sickness, a term first coined by Meyer Friedman, the identifier of the Type A personality. I know I have it. I can't stand how slowly my computer boots up. I actually timed it recently. It took 1 minute and I was fidgeting the whole time. I'm the person pushing the elevator button more than once to make it come faster. I hit the pound key to bypass the message on other people's voicemail, and I use the 1-minute button on the microwave because it's quicker than punching in the time myself. This is how bad I've got it. Yesterday I went to my local copy shop. I made my copies and was standing in line waiting to pay. The young man behind the counter was struggling to help a very old lady figure out how to send a package to her grandchild. There's one other person in line in front of me. My inner monologue goes like this. Lines. I hate lines. Why can't they get enough help in here? Fume. Why can't they at least post how much they charge for copies so I could pay without waiting? A minute passes. More fuming. I don't have time for this. I've got more important things to do. I can't just stand here. I have to get home and write this book on patience. I can't take it anymore. I blurt out from my place in line. How much for a copy? $0 or $10? Replies the flustered young man, flinging down $1 for my 40-cent purchase. I storm out of the store, the irony of this situation not occurring to me until I am driving away. Another word for hurry. Sickness is impatience, and I'm pretty sure I'm not the only one suffering from it. Road rage, violence of all sorts, blow-ups at the office, divorce, yelling at our kids, all of these and many other of the world's ills can be traced, at least in part, to a lack of patience. A while ago, the state of California ran a public service announcement to slow down for the cone zone. It was a campaign to get drivers to slow from 65 to 55 mph in construction areas because so many workers have been killed. The ads inform listeners that the time difference between going 55 and 65 in a 1-mile construction area is 10 seconds. People are getting killed because we're not willing to get somewhere 10 seconds a mile later. Indeed, it appears that the faster things go, the less patience we are able to muster. This is a problem because life inevitably has a certain degree of delay in the form of lines, traffic jams, and automated message systems. More important, our lack of patience creates difficulties because the more complex of life's challenges, illness, disability, relationship conflicts, job crises, parenting issues, to name a few, require that we practice patience in order not merely to cope, but to grow in love and wisdom. Without patience, we can't truly learn from the lessons life throws at us. We're unable to mature. We remain at this stage of irritable babies, unable to delay gratification more than momentarily, unable to work toward what we truly want in any dedicated way. If we want to live wider and deeper lives, not just faster ones, we have to practice patience with ourselves, with other people, and with the big and small circumstances of life itself. I know we're longing to put more patience in our lives because the world is going faster and faster and we are all trying to keep up. Never before has patience been more needed and never has it been in such short supply. But we can change that. With the right attitudes and a bit of practice, we can learn to harness the power of patience in our lives. It's a combination of motivation, wanting to awareness, paying attention to our inner landscape and cultivation. Practicing, we can do it because patience is a human quality that can be strengthened. We have what we need. We're patient already. How else did we get through school? Learn to love, find a job. We're just not always aware of what helps us be patient, what triggers our impatience, or what to do when our patience wears thin. The most important thing to know is that patience is something you do. not something you have or don't have. It's like a muscle. We all have muscles, but some people are stronger than others because they work out. The same is true with patience. Some of us may be better at it right now, but each of us can develop more with practice. The power of patience looks at the importance of patience, what it can do for us, why it's so crucial now, and how to become more patient. It does this from a broad, spiritual, and inspirational point of view, using my own stories as well as ideas from centuries of wisdom on the topic from around the world. It springs from my quest to live a happy and meaningful life, and my passion to help others do the same. Patience gives us stick to witness the ability to work steadily toward our goals and dreams. Recent research in emotional intelligence demonstrates that the effect of such persistence can equal many IQ points. Asian students in the United States are thought to be, on average, within 1 or 2 IQ points of Caucasians. But because they are usually taught persistence when young, they end up as a group behaving as though they have a much higher average IQ and are disproportionately represented in top universities and highly intellectual professions. I once read an interview with the founder of Fast Company magazine, one of the few related media still standing after the dot bust. He had an idea to create a magazine that reflected the new ideas of the times, and he pursued it despite huge obstacles. He borrowed against his personal credit cards and stormed the country trying to get investors. No takers, but he passionately believed in his idea and refused to give up, literally the day he was down to his last dime and had run out of options. He made the connection that led to the founding of the magazine, and ultimately to his selling it to a publishing conglomerate for a huge sum. Stories abound about folks who persisted despite the odds before finally achieving great success. Walt Disney, for instance, was turned down 302 times before he got financing for Disneyland. George Lucas put up his own money to make Star Wars because no one believed in his vision. By the time the movie came out, he was completely broke. But he ended up becoming phenomenally wealthy precisely because he had been unable to sell any of the rights to the film or sequels. Patiently continuing on despite obstacles doesn't mean that we will necessarily reap the kind of huge reward Mr. Fast Company, Walt Disney, or George Lucas did, but it sure increases the odds that we will make our own personal dreams come true, whatever they are.